I never imagined that a simple dinner invitation would be the spark that lit a fire beneath everything I thought I knew about my marriage. That night, as I stood in my own living room, Daniel's old friend looked me dead in the eye and said something that made the air vanish from my lungs. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was something much darker, a truth that had been hiding in plain sight. Daniel had told me stories about Jake, his college buddy, partner in mischief, and loyal friend. I had never met him until that night. He arrived carrying an easy charm, a disarming smile, and the kind of confidence that filled a room. He laughed, told old stories, and made me feel like I had known him for years. But beneath that charm, there was something unsettling, something too calm, too controlled. Dinner started light. We clinked glasses and shared stories. But as I cleared the dishes, Jake's demeanor shifted. He turned to me, serious and still, and asked a question so shocking that my heart nearly stopped. I turned to Daniel, expecting him to laugh it off. But he didn't. He sat frozen, jaw tight, fingers tapping the rim of his glass. That silence? It said everything. "What did you just say?" I asked Jake, my voice trembling. He smiled faintly, tilting his head. "You heard me?" That's when the warmth left the room. The laughter was gone, replaced by the weight of something unsaid. Daniel ran a hand through his hair and muttered, "Maybe we should talk about this later." Later? My husband, the man I had trusted for years, was acting like this was normal. I turned to him. "Daniel, did you know he was going to say that?" He hesitated, just for a moment, but it was enough. Jake chuckled quietly. "Come on, Daniel. You should have told her." "Told me what?" Jake leaned forward, his voice calm. "I was there, the night before your wedding." I blinked, confused. "What are you talking about?" "I think Daniel should be the one to explain." Daniel looked like he might be sick. He opened his mouth, closed it again. Then, finally, he said the words that would destroy the life we had built. "There's something I never told you. That night, I wasn't alone." My blood ran cold. I was with Jake and someone else. My voice cracked. "Who?" Jake leaned back, still calm. "She's not a stranger. In fact, she's someone you know." Faces flashed through my mind. Friends, family, people I loved. But I didn't want to believe it, until a memory struck me like a slap. My sister had disappeared the night before the wedding. She said she needed space. I hadn't questioned it. She was my maid of honor, my best friend. I turned to Daniel, my voice barely a whisper. "No, it wasn't her. Tell me it wasn't her." His silence was the answer. The betrayal hit me like a tidal wave. My sister, the one person I trusted completely. She had smiled at me on my wedding day, knowing what had happened. "Why?" I choked out. "Why would you let me marry you without telling me?" Daniel's voice was hoarse. "I didn't want to lose you." Before I could speak, Jake cut in. "That's not the worst part." My head snapped toward him. "What do you mean?" Jake's eyes locked on mine. "She didn't just leave that night. She came back, and she wasn't alone." Daniel paled, his hands clenched so tightly, his knuckles turned white. Jake continued. "She came back with someone who had a reason to keep things quiet. Someone who made sure Daniel stayed silent too." My pulse pounded. "Who was she with?" Daniel struggled to speak. She was pregnant." The word echoed in my mind like a scream in an empty room. "Pregnant." Daniel's voice broke. "She told me the baby was mine. Said she'd leave town and raise the child alone. She didn't want to ruin our lives." I couldn't breathe. My husband, my sister, a child. all kept secret for years. I asked, "Where is she now?" Daniel looked at Jake, and Jake, always the messenger, gave me the final blow. "She's back, and she's not alone this time either." Before I could respond, a knock echoed through the house. Daniel was already on his feet. My heart threatened to break through my chest. When he opened the door, I felt everything around me collapse. There she was, my sister. She looked older, stronger, worn down by time and truth. But she didn't come alone. Standing beside her was a little girl with big brown eyes that looked exactly like Daniel's. The silence was deafening until my sister spoke. "I didn't come to destroy anything," she said, her voice soft. "But my daughter deserves to know the truth." The word daughter crushed whatever was left of me. Daniel stared, his voice barely audible. "Why now?" "She's asking questions," my sister replied. "And I won't lie to her, not the way you lied to her." She looked at me. Something inside me cracked. My entire life had been built on lies and half-truths. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't angry anymore. I was exhausted. I nodded. "Then tell her everything." Daniel turned to me, eyes wide with panic. But I was done protecting the lie. My sister knelt beside her daughter. "Sweetheart, this is your father." The little girl looked up at Daniel, innocent and unaware of the chaos behind those words. And just like that, the story I thought I was living ended. But for that little girl, for Daniel, for my sister, and for me, it was only the beginning of something new, something fragile, something real.